Thank you. Okay, so the one that we are supposed to do is in the part of sourcing. We have something called um, so in the sourcing administration itself, we have something called processing requisition or assignment of requisition or assignment of source of supply to the requisition, assignment and processing requisitions, auto creation of PO. Okay, so these are the ones that we have left with the things in the purchasing. These are the ones. Okay, so let me put it over here in the sourcing administration. So we have something called ME57, transaction code ME57. We will discuss about these 4 transaction codes today. I will take you to this place: logistics, material management, purchasing, requisition, follow-on functions. Okay, so these are the ones. Okay, so ME58. Okay, so you have got ME59, and you also have one more thing called ME56. Okay, so these are called sourcing transaction codes. Okay, so with the ME59, what you do is you assign SOS to PR. With ME57, you assign and process. Okay, PR. With ME59, you have something called assignment via no, this is something called process via assignment list. Okay, and then this is auto PO creation. Right, so these are the 4 transactions that we have to know in the sourcing administration part. So let me first go with the first one, assignment of source of supply via, or rather simply this way. Let's say I think we have created a lot of materials, a couple of materials yesterday. Let me just go and pick it up. 777. See, these are the materials which we have created. Which one is it? 355, or rather 354. This one we have created yesterday. I'll just go and pick it up. You see here. So what I'm trying to do is, you have a requisition which is yet to be converted into purchase order. Unless and until you convert it into purchase order and send it to the supplier, you won't be receiving any material. So therefore, this is what we call it as administration, or administering the requisition. See here, this requisition, if you look at it, let me take you to this PR ME53N. This was created with no supplier information maintained in the requisition. It's taking time. Okay. So when you look at here, for this particular requisition, I thought, is this the requisition that I've copied? there was a supplier information available. So what we want is a PO or a PR. I'm sorry, this is material master, right? One second. Not a problem. Okay, this is a material. Let me just go and execute it. I'm going with ME56. I'll simply just go and execute it. You could see here for this particular material, we have got three requisitions. Requisition number this one, requisition number this one, and requisition number this one, where we don't have source of supply maintained over it. You could see here. Okay, so now what I want is, these are the requisitions. The first one is material master, second one is requisition number, the third one is, okay, this is NRNB. NB is a document type. Okay, so if you want to assign the source of supply, you can do so. For that, you see here, you select a material like this, or rather requisition, line item, and then you go with assign it manually. So when you go and assign it manually here, you will have a selection screen opened, and then you have a fixed vendor, purchase organization, info record, agreement item, so on and so forth. There will be different options depending upon what exactly you wanted to do. For example, you wanted to find info records based on a certain vendor. Okay, based on certain vendor, or info records per material. So let me give the material number 100100354. This will fetch me the list of vendors and the info records created with reference to that. Let's say if I want, I can choose this vendor so that the info record will become source of supply for this particular material. Now you see, it's asking enter purchase organization. Okay, so let it be and hit enter. I'm sorry, it's not 333. What is that? 777C. Hit enter. Now a contract exists for this material. That's okay. Let it be. Now here Sridhar, with whom this info record was created, has been selected as source of supply. And then when I go with assign source of supply, now you see info record has been added or maintained as the source of supply. Alright, now if you can just go back and display the same requisition, you would see in the fixed vendor, Sridhar will come, and Sridhar as a vendor as being picked up based on the info record. Okay, so this is one way of assigning the source of supply to the requisition, and then let the buyer to convert this requisition into purchase order. Okay, whatever I have assigned, I should have kept it as it was. Okay, now this I went with manual assignment. It is possible, let me just go and do cancel the assignment. Okay, now you see here, I'll just go back one step. Save assignments already made first. No, I don't want to. Let me give the material once again. Execute it. Okay, I should have saved it. Or I can just go back to this requisition, go with change mode. I'll simply delete this information. Okay, I'll go and save it over here. Okay, so now let me just go back once again, specify the material master once again, go with execute. You would see the three requisitions which are not assigned to anything. Now Okay, from here I went with assign manually. If I want, I can even go with automatic assignment. You see here, I would simply go with this assign automatically, wherein you could see here there are 3 info records created, okay, with 3 different vendors. If I based on whatever you wanted to take it as the source of supply, you can choose it. For example, Sudhakar, I can just go and do this one automatically. You need not have to go manually, then search for the record based on material, based on vendor, etc., etc. If you want to go with that way, that's fine. Or else if you want to go with automatically, you can do so. Okay, once again, let me just take you the same thing, right? And you see this one, assignment list via assignment overview. You see here there is something called, this is purchase organization, etc., etc. Nothing is there here, but there are 3 purchase requisitions which are available here. Now if I go with all the requisitions, you would see them all. Okay, now if you want to purchase requisitions per assignment, if you want to see it, okay, like this, if you go, you would see this way. This is just an overview. Okay, so using which either you can go with automatic or you can go with manual, depending upon your requirement. You just have to go and choose and then process. Therefore, a requisition will have a fixed source of supplier in it. Okay, that doesn't mean, now you see here there has been one for which is the source of supply is maintained. If you just go with update work list, you would see still 2 requisitions which are not having any source of supply. Okay, so this is what we call it as assignment of source of supply to the requisition, right? So now let me take you the second one, assignment and processing requisition. What do you mean by processing requisition? Processing requisition is nothing but converting requisition into order, purchase order. So the 2 steps can be performed in a single way, but again it requires a manual interaction, right? So let me just go and find out the material. This material, I would just go and execute it. You could see here there are 2 requisitions which are not assigned to any sources of supplies. Now let's take one. Okay, now again you see here assign manually, assign automatically. With whatever way you wanted to go, you can go either manually or automatically, right? Let's say if I'm going with automatic assignment, you just double click this. Now you see here the source of supplier has been assigned to the requisition, right? Now let me just go with details, okay, where you could see, because I'm here to save it, so that's the reason you don't see it anything over here. But if I go and save it, okay, now if you go and have a look at it, you would see the information, fixed vendor information in the requisition. Okay, you could see here. So from here, assignment and process, either you can I'm sorry, one second, give me a moment. What is the requisition? Okay, so now look at here once again. So flagged for request for processing. This is without vendor, means flagged for RFQ processing this way, or you just go it this way. You make it as a fixed vendor based on whatever information you may have. You can go with this way. You choose the vendor, select the vendor from the purchase organization, okay, something like this. Then assign the source of supply. From here, assignment. Now you see here, from here you keep like this and then go with process assignment. Okay, NB is the document type. You go with process assignment. So when you go with process assignment, it opens a purchase order screen. Okay, so here, can you just give me a moment, please? Morning, sir. Venkat, నేను ఒక half an hour లో కాల్ చేసేదా? Right, sir. Okay, so here, depending upon your requirement, you choose the order type. This is the manual interaction. Okay, so if you want your GNI, where is this one, GNPO, you choose this one. Okay, whereas default order type, document type, which is coming automatically as NB, that's a configuration. Okay, and now if you go with this way, it's going to open a purchase order screen where you supplement the details in case if there are anything missing, and then you save the order. Okay, so this way your vendor will assign the source of supply to the requisition and then process the requisition to convert it into purchase order. This is what we call it as assignment and processing. It's taking longer than it is supposed to. Okay, it says can the delivery date be met? If it is not met, you just go and change the delivery date. Okay, now you see, you simply have to save it. Okay, so that a purchase order will be created for the vendor Radhika group, and then it will be dispatched to the corresponding supplier via whatever the message or the output type that you have configured for this vendor, it will go. Okay, so this is what we call it as assignment and processing requisitions. Right, now you see, if you can just go back and update the work list, you won't see any requisitions here. Okay, so this is what we call the assignment of and processing requisitions. Then there is one more thing here. It is assignment via or what we call it as purchase requisitions via assignment list. You see here, you give this thing purchase organization, and let's say I'm going to give vendor information here. Let me give a vendor information, say Radhika. Now simply if I go with execute, it will pulls out all the requisitions created for Radhika as the vendor. Okay, you see here there are 4 requisitions. If I go with all requisitions, you would see these 4 requisitions. Okay, now now if I wanted to process all these 4 together, these are the 4 requisitions, right? So you have got requisition number 10015306530707009 and 17. You see all of them you can convert in a single shot into purchase order. All the 4 will be made as line items in a single purchase order. Okay, how? Just choose the second line, that is the NB, where the document type, default document type. Okay, or you see requisitions per assignment. You can even go with this way also, or you can go this way as well. If you go with this, you see here, you choose whatever document type you wanted, simply go ahead. Therefore, all the 4 equations you could see here, all the 4 equations will be used as individual line items in the purchase order and will be dispatched to one vendor. I can just go and save it. Okay, this is called assignment via list, or rather processing of purchase equations via assignment list. Okay, process I would say purchase equations via assignment list. Okay, now you could see there was this purchase order created, and when you look at it, all the equations would have been there. Let me just go and have a look at.
Venkat, a question to you.
Yes, sir.
Just a bit confused. How best the user or the functional guy will be doing this sort of ordering themselves? My understanding is, if you look at,
as a functional consultant, you will never be doing it, sir. This as a part of sourcing administration, which I am explaining. Sourcing administration is performed by the purchasing department people, whether purchase operational, mostly majority, it's done by the operational purchaser, the guy who takes care of day-to-day requirements of purchasing. You have got nothing to do as a functional consultant here. I'm just
something called, okay, fine. So something called sourcing cockpit in SRM.
You would say yes.
Okay. Right, and then it goes for approval process, isn't it?
Exactly. In case if this requires an approval, if you look at it, okay, here I think I have removed the approval process. Otherwise, release procedure would have been triggered for this.
Right. Okay. Great. Thanks.
Okay, and then the final one is automatic PO creation. Okay, or rather create PO automatically via requisitions. Sorry, Sundarrao garu.
1 minute. The approval process option
The option kadandi, approval process needs to be configured in the beginning itself. In case, let's say, if you want to change the existing process of approving a document, you can make amendment at any point of time depending upon your process demands. For example, at this moment there are 3 people approving the document, and because of the process change there is a 4th person who is joining and he needs to also approve the document. Possible. You have to contact the functional team, request them to add 4th approver for a certain scenario. They will do it.
Okay.
Okay, the last one is assignment of creation of a purchase order automatically via requisitions. For this there are certain prerequisites. Okay, so let me just take you to these things. Okay, so we have covered this one, purchase order, source definition, we have seen this one. Okay, automatic manual, etc. Now for this one to take place, automatic creation of purchase orders from requisitions, there are certain prerequisites that you need to look at. Prerequisite number 1, let me take you to material master /OMM02. Okay, material, I'm sorry, I did not remember the material. Let me just go and find it out. 77C is the plant. Okay, let's say this one, the first one. Go into purchasing view. Right, you will have something called auto PO creation indicator that needs to be maintained. You see here, auto PO creation. First of all, this needs to be set up. Okay, when you have this indicator maintained for the material, the next thing is when this is sourced from which vendor, okay, then you wanted PO to be created, right? So the next one, /n xk02, right? Radhika, let me take this vendor, 777, purchase organization is C, right? Let me go into purchasing data, go into this place. Company code is 777, right? Go to this place. You should have auto PO indicator maintained here also. You see here, auto PO indicator is maintained. Let me put it here. Okay, for this prerequisites, right? What are the prerequisites? One, okay, auto PO indicator in material master, under and vendor master, right? Next thing, you should have info record should be available for this. I would say should have been created, right, with again auto PO indicator maintained for the material and vendor combination. Okay, so if you have all these prerequisites already maintained, then you are good to go ahead and create a purchase order automatically. You see here, vendor is 305102 /n ME12. I'm going with this material vendor combination. I'll just go into no purchasing data exists. Why did I not maintain purchasing? 1 second. Plant 77C. Okay. Purchase organization. Okay, so here somewhere you should be seeing, okay, info record is anyhow is there. I'm supposed to see auto PO indicator here as well, because it is there in the material master and in the vendor master. It should come automatically here. Is it there or not there? And also the pricing procedure, the one that we are going to see in the next class, should have been triggered for this combination automatically. Okay, I'm expecting to see auto PO indicator here. I'm not sure why it wasn't there, but even then that may not be required also. The reason being, your vendor, your material both are having auto PO indicators and you have info record available. So therefore, I assume this is what we require as a prerequisite. So now you see here, I'll just go back once again, ME59. Normally what we do is, this is the program or the transaction code. The program is this one, RM06BB30. This program, we schedule it to run it in the background. Okay, how to do it? You specify, okay, all the vendors. For example, you have got different vendors. Okay, you specify like this, 305105, and then let's say, let me take another vendor, say Sudhakar, and let's say even Sridhar also, for example. Okay, these are the three vendors with whom you have got automatic PO creation set up, and all these people belongs to, you know, I mean all the materials for which you have these purchase requisitions, and the requisitions contains any of these three vendors. In such case, if I wanted to create a PO automatically, you see here, I can simply select these things, and then you see per company code, per contract, depending upon how you wanted to go with it. Okay, you need not have to click on test run. If you click on test run, it will not create. Now you see here, go execute in the background, right? You set it this way, LP01. Okay, I would just say hit enter. That's okay. Now, in case if you want to run it, you can just go with immediate. If you want this to be run at regular intervals of time, you see here, at what frequency you wanted this auto PO creation to be taking place in your system, you just go ahead and maintain it. For example, daily, right? Then check it, save it, and then you simply go ahead and save it. Now you see, background job was scheduled for program RM06BB30. How do you see? When you go into my jobs, or you can go with own jobs, I would simply, it's not responding as fast as we require. You can just simply specify R M. Okay, you see here there are so many jobs which are running, but I did not remember the name of the program. Let me just go again once again and see what is the program. ME59. Okay, so I'm sorry, slash and ME59. Okay, I'll simply go and copy the program name. This one, RM06BB20. Okay, I'll just go back here. SM36 is the transaction code. And this is to be defined. SM37 is to check the overview. Okay, this is the program which you have scheduled it to run, right? I'll just go and find it out. No job matches the selection criteria. Why? Should have come automatically.
Venkat, just check with scheduled only. Remove all checkboxes and remove the program name also.
No, it's not coming.
Okay. Username also star. I think it should be.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. The program name should be given
Yeah.
so that it will easily pick it up.
It may not be set up.
Let's redo it. Not a problem. No big deal. ME59. Okay. So this is what we thought of doing it. You can even run it in the you can run it in the foreground also. Let me just run it quickly in the foreground. Okay. So now, having done this, just go and execute it. Yeah, I think it would have already taken all of them. So that's the reason it's not finding it. I might not have anything for to process it. That's the reason it's taking. It's not displaying.
The POs can be created, no, Venkat, already?
Yeah, POs will get created automatically.
So we can check the POs.
Hmm. Or I can go with material. One sec. Come on, what a strange thing. 355. I'm not sure why it is not picking. Normally when you execute it, it is supposed to, display the requisitions. I don't know why it is not displaying, but ideally it is supposed to. Let me just go and look it for 1000. Okay, the standard one. No suitable requisitions. Maybe the selection criteria are we giving wrong? No, I think it's quite strange. 77C. No, it's not picking. No, it's not picking. I don't know for what reason, but normally when you go with this, okay, it'll display a purchase order number and the number of requisitions which were used in that order number. Okay, so just give me a moment. SE16. I'll try to look it from the table level, EKKO, and see if there are any orders created today. Company code, BUKRS, okay, so here my company code is 77, created today. Let me take today's date. I remember I've created 2 purchase orders. Let me see if there are any other got created. Yeah, you could see here there are 4 orders created. I'm sure I have not created all the 4. I think we have created only this one and this one, I guess. These are the 2 ones which I have created, where I went there, I selected ZNPO while creating purchase orders via assignment list. But these are the ones which were created automatically by the system. Okay, the job got just processed, and it got the process the equations.
So, but the PO number range we selected it as 33300 something. But here we can see it is 4 PO number starting with 45, right?
Correct. You know why? I told you the default document type for purchase requisition is NB. That's in configurations.
Okay.
While I'm going with the assignment, or rather processing of requisitions via assignment list, it defaulted NB, which I've converted into ZNPO, right? Isn't it? I've converted it into ZNPO.
Yeah.
Here the system has taken NB because there is no manual intervention. Let me show you that configuration. If you want default also ZNPO, you have to go into configurations, and here you will have auto PO creation settings. Under purchasing, if you go there, so what is the document type? It picks up for automatic PO creation, wherein if you do not want NB, you just have to go with ZNB or ZNPO, whatever. Come on, where was that? Purchase order. Somewhere it should be there. Cancellation invoice plan, perishable, not here. Confirmations, conditions, account assignment. This way I haven't covered it. I'll just go and take it now. Partner determination. Yeah, order optimizing. Is it order optimizing? You see here, define default values for document type. Okay, so this is the node under purchasing. You go into this. Okay, this is where you can configure ME21N. You see here, document type is NB. That's the reason when I went with this, you could see these two were created automatically.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
You look at here, B, purchase order from automatic conversion of requisitions. Status.
Requisition.
Okay. So the program got converted all the requisitions into PO. So therefore in this selection, when I went with ME59 again, because it did not find any requisitions, it's not giving me any list, but it has already converted them. The status 9 you see here, this is the one which I did it manually. Okay. Enjoy purchase order, which is nothing but converting the requisitions via assignment list. Okay. So now if you want ZN whatever your document number, no problem. You just have to go here, choose your document number. Where is GNPO? Okay, this one. Okay. So next time when the job runs, this will create a PO of type ZNPO. Right? So this is how you can actually make default values for the document type also. And you see here there is one more thing, account assignment. Although we did discuss about account assignment categories like the cost center, the project, asset, etc. This is the place where you maintain the account assignment categories. You will have a lot of things here. Okay, but which account assignment category is valid for the which document type, etc. Based on that it will come. But these are all the account assignment categories. In case if you want to define them, you just have to go like this, and for each of the account assignment there will be certain screens mandatory. You see, when you have selected account assignment category K, cost center, the screen account assignment category screen gets opened in the item or the item details, and certain screen fields become optional, certain screen fields become mandatory. You see here, when you choose account assignment category K in the purchasing document, you have to give the cost center, which is mandatory, right? Rest of the business area, right, those things are optional. Now you see here, if I go like this, mandatory, what is that? General ledger account, right? Rest of them, everything is optional. Similarly, if you go with what you call A, asset, as the okay, if you go with asset as the account assignment category, then here also you will see various fields based on account assignment category A, which field is mandatory, which field is optional. These things you can define it over here. What's happening? Am I lost? Power? It's not going. Can you guys? Looks like I lost the power. Now, can you guys hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?